Hello guys, this is my third time recording this, so I'm really hoping it turns out okay. First time Audacity crashed, last time I was just too far away from my mic, so let's get this started. Welcome to Dhole Discusses. Before I start the episode, I'll just give a little brief discussion. Dhole Discusses will basically be my version of the rant channel thing, except not my entire channel. It will more so be just this series. So, I'll do a more extensive video on it later, but this is just the basic essentials of what this is. So, let's get into the episode. Today I'm going to be talking about the most basic thing I can. Furries. What are they? Why are they like that? Do they really think they're animals? Well, I'm gonna tell you. Chances are if you clicked on this video, you're a furry. I mean, it has my fursona. But because this is YouTube, there could always be those people who aren't furries and just want to come on here and say, hey, you're a little bitch, you dog fucker, which I'll get into later. But to those who are just curious about the fandom, hi, hello. There are not many of you, so please feel special and loved. So let's get into the definition of furry, or at least my definition. So the definition of furry will range from person to person, but for me, I go by the book, which is basically saying if you appreciate and like works with anthropomorphic animals, you're a furry. Anthropomorphic animals just means animals with human traits, whether that is talking, or walking on two legs, or wearing clothes, anything like that. You like those? You're a furry. So that's why most people refer to Zootopia as the furry movie, but little do they know, all of Disney is a furry movie. So, real quick, let's get into how I officially became a furry. So, before I get into my little explanation, I will say I've always loved Lion King. Specifically Lion King 2. That actually fueled my love for the first one even more. So that is definitely a factor in why and how I'm a furry. But even before that, I've always loved to draw. It's actually a funny story. I was sent to summer school before kindergarten because my preschool teachers thought I was mentally insane. Because whenever they would give me a little coloring book, they would be like, here, Yosuke, here's a coloring book like all the rest of your peers. I would just take a black crayon and just scribble all over it because it wasn't something I drew. And I was obsessed with animals. So what happens when you're obsessed with animals and you like to draw? You start to draw animals. At first I drew my animals, then I started drawing random animals because I didn't own like a fox or something. And I eventually started making characters out of this. Now my first character, well my first fursona was an Aussie named Meadow that I'm actually still really proud of today. But my first character was a little border collie named Kavi who wore way too much eyeliner and had a beanie on all the time. Now because the internet is a thing, I found other dogs with makeup and clothing on, so I immediately wanted to know what was up. So I did, and I found out what furries were. That is actually how my best friend came into the furry fandom also. I found it, and one day I was like, hey, you know we're furries? And she was like, what? And I just sort of, yeah, your cat character? The pink cat with a top hat? Yeah. Fursona. There you go. And our lives have never been the same. Okay, yeah, that's a decent coming into the fandom story, but what does it actually have to do with the subject matter? Notice how there's nothing super sexual about that entire thing? That is because furries, as a culture, we are not purely sexual. I'm not gonna say it's not there, because it definitely is, no doubt about it. But if you want to look at that stuff, do it behind closed doors. So, no one can say it's not there, it's just not a part we all take part in. It isn't the main purpose. Also, can we please stop the stereotype that furries fuck animals? That is literally the stupidest stereotype I've ever heard. And some furries, whether they're artists or fursuit makers or whatever, have actually gotten their reputation and career destroyed by that. Okay, so why are we furries? Why do we not like our human selves? Why do we need an animal to represent ourselves? And to be frank, it's because we're losers. That's not a diss on the fandom, that's just a fact. I've never met anyone who's been top dog in school, with their peers, with their family. It just doesn't happen. And if it does, it's not common. So I'm gonna be using me and my friend as examples as to why we kind of think we're furries. Starting with me, I was a fat ass. To be honest, I still am. Back when, I used to wear solid color cotton sweaters with black leggings with those tall ass white socks that I would put over those leggings with Skechers and some nice oval glasses, oval wire glasses. So I was not the most popular kid. I was actually really feared, which I'm not entirely mad about. That mixed with a family life that was less than great, it kind of left me no safe space, and I will be honest, I took the furry fandom and I made it my safe space. For my friend, it's different. I have no siblings, so whenever I go to her house, it's crazy because she has 4. Some of which have moved out, but still. She's the second youngest, and her little brother still lives with her, and all hell breaks loose whenever I go over there. There was this one time when I went over there for dinner, and it was me, her little brother, and her parents. And her brother asked their parents if he can look up anime on the family tablet. Immediately, my friend and I look at her parents and are just, no, you want to watch what that kid is watching, because especially with YouTube, how it is nowadays. So they took our words to heart, and they looked, and they found porn. So I don't know if that's on him or the people he got it from. Either way, not that great. She was kind of overshadowed by all this stuff, by all of his misdeeds, which kind of left her in the dust in her family's eyes. We got ourselves stressed out, whether it was life or our own minds. And drawing and making characters and designing and thinking up these extensive worlds were both of our only outlet, other than talking to each other. So, the animals we choose to represent ourselves. We don't just go on Google and randomly pick an animal. No, that's not how it works. So, before we actually choose what species, we have to connect with a species, you know? Basic common sense. I connected with a species called a Dhole. It's not called Dick Hole Discusses. It's called Dhole Discusses, and if you don't think of it too hard, just think of it like a Dhole fruit bowl. I found a really amazing Dhole design on FA. If I can, I'll show a picture here. I don't know, this is my first video. I'm not the best at editing. But I saw that, and I became really into the species as a whole, and I made my own fursona. Also, just an added bonus of being a furry, why would you want to look at Seraphina's basic Instagram post with her little mini coat? I don't know what the fuck people wear with her Starbucks cup when you can look all through your feed and see a giant fluffy dog doing giant fluffy dog things. I don't know why people think it's weird. Moving on from that point, do we legitimately think we are fursonas? Short and simple, no. If you would like to trash on those people, while I don't support, those are other kin. I don't support trashing them, but I also don't support them, so just separate that mindset, please. We are different. So basically, to end this little real quick first episode, I'm going to go tell you guys how my fursona was made. So at the time of recording this, I have 3 to 4 fursonas. I have Yosuke, who I'll be talking about, Sesame, Shinobu, and possibly Organist. I'm not entirely sure. He might be demoted to a secondary character. But since it's called Dhole Discusses, I'll talk about the Dhole on your screen being drawn right now, Yosuke. So, Yosuke is short for Yoskylum, which actually has a very sentimental meaning to me, as it was one of my first @names. Yosuke is not entirely who I am, but they are who I strive to be. They're not super overweight, but they're not super skinny. They are comfortable and confident in who they are, and they are able to 100% go outside and just, if they needed to, say, I am this, and this, fight me. Their design also shows a lot about their character, which I think a lot of people overlook. Yosuke's design fits them. It's not too over the top, but at the same time, it's not basic. Its colors are natural and not super over the top. They have a tear in their ear, their right ear, if you're looking directly at them. It's in the speed paint, representing a whole bunch of shit with me, going from mental stuff to physical stuff. They have the same eye color as me, mostly because I like my eye color on characters. Not to brag, but I do. And I just really, really connect with them. And to those non-furs, the most I can equate the love of your fursona to is loving your child, because it's a part of you now. The minute you make it, boom, it is a part of your world. So, because I don't really want to expose my IRL name on here just yet, call me Yosuke or Sesame. Either or, I really don't care. So, to those who are already furs, can you please tell me how I did? I really hope I didn't fuck up shit for the fandom. For those non-furs, thank you for getting this far. Sorry, I dropped my earbud. Thank you for getting this far. I'm really surprised, actually. Kudos to you. To those questioning, did I do anything to sway your decision? Even if it was just making you feel like you're not a furry, I still would like to hear it. I love to hear people talking about how they got their fursona. I love to hear people talking about their fursona. I love to hear that shit. So if you are comfortable enough with sharing that stuff in the comments, please feel free. That stuff is boppin'. That stuff is my jam. So thank you guys very much for watching or listening, because it's just me drawing my fursona. And I really hope you have a delicious day. Hey guys, so real quick, I'm gonna plug my social medias. Something I will always have in my description is my link tree, which is a website where you can just go onto it, log in with your Instagram, and boom, you can set up all your links there. Obviously that means I have an Instagram, which is actually where I am most active. All my social medias are the same username, but if you want to be 100% accurate, I very strongly recommend going there. And I really don't know what I'm going to be doing with this channel, to be honest. I'm just giving myself more to edit here, so kind of hate myself. But yeah, I might do some more speed paints, some more commentaries over speed paints. I think that might be one of the main things I do. I know I'm definitely going to do some animations, but just right now I'm a wild card. So feel free to subscribe if you want to see what I end up doing with my life. Even though we just met, I love you guys, and I hope you have a delicious day. Bye. So, yeah, the speed paint did get cut in the middle of it, but right when I started coloring, I thought I hit resume. On my screen recorder, and I apologize. The next one I already have recorded. The next one will be a somewhat big second video, so if you want to go see that, it's on a kind of controversial topic that shouldn't, I don't know, but if you want to see that, stick around, and if you want to see an actual full speed paint, stick around. But yeah, here on the screen is the finished piece, and I hope you guys enjoy. So I'm finally officially done editing the video part. So yeah, later guys. Sorry for a second after recording. Bye.